Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenidos a mi canal de YouTube. Me llamo Kotaro, Kotarito, lo que sea. Mucho gusto. Buenos días. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué onda? How are you doing? I hope you're doing great. Today I'm going to talk how I study Spanish. Voy a hablar sobre cómo aprender español. Since we have been locked down, I feel like it's kind of really good timing. It's time to start studying Spanish. So I've been studying Spanish like for 2 months something, 3 months, yeah. And I became able to do a normal basic conversation. So I'm going to talk to you how I study Spanish. And I hope this video can help someone who is trying to learn new languages like me. So if you have any tips, your own tips, like original tips, you can just write down below on my video, so we can share the tips and we can learn together, okay? Let's go. So the main topic, how do I study Spanish? And I picked the main 3 points of how I do in Spanish. First thing is just vocabulary. Vocabulary is the most important, I guess, because if you don't know any vocabulary, then you will never be able to speak any languages. So the vocabulary is very important. But as you can see, I do study vocabulary with very small textbook because like if you want to learn faster, then like 1,000 or 1,500 words are enough to be able to speak. And I've heard in Spanish, if you study like 100 vocabulary, then you will be cover like 50% of normal conversation. So the vocabulary is very important. So I do vocabulary first. Second point, maybe some of you guys might be thinking I would say the grammar, but actually I don't spend so much time on grammar. Of course, grammar is very important, but if you want to be able to speak your new languages, you should do a practice. If you study a lot, if you spend time a lot of studying grammar and if you master grammar, but if you don't do any practice of like speaking, of listening, then you will never be able to speak or you will be able to listen that language. So the practice is very, very important. And so how do we practice? We can find online lesson, we can find tutor, we can find language school, but I really recommend the one thing. It is application. It's called HelloTalk. This is very useful. It's this kind of application, and you can find your new friends who can speak the language that you're studying. So if I'm studying Spanish, then I can find some friends who can speak Spanish and who want to learn Japanese or English, because I can teach them English or Japanese. So then we can talk each other and we can make free call. So yeah, you should get it, and you should start it. You should start it right now. This is very useful, and I've been using this app like 4 months of studying Spanish, and also I learned English from this app, so I proved it because now I can speak English because of this app. So you should use it. HelloTalk is very useful. And the third point is the podcast. I just want a podcast, the best tool to practice, to improve your listening skill, to speaking skill. Modern Netflix, modern music. Yeah, of course, Netflix and music is really good. It's really helpful, but the podcast is the best, I guess, because like some podcast you can get a transcript for free. So like this, I'm listening Españolitos is a podcast, and I could get a transcript for free, and I just copied it and I play podcast, and I can listen podcast and I can read it at the same time. And of course, you know, like they won't stop. They keep talking. They will never stop. So I can just keep listening. And sometimes I pretend to be like them and I read it by myself and I practice. So the podcast is really helpful. You should use it. So this is how I study Spanish, and I feel like I'm getting better in Spanish each day with this process. And I believe I can finish this quarantine with new skill. My new skill is Spanish. So yeah, we can learn together. And if you like this video, you can just subscribe my YouTube and press the likes button, okay? This is gonna be my motivation to create more videos, right? Muchas gracias. Hasta luego. Adiós.